Yo, how's it going, guys? Today I'll be showing you my shadow deck profile. I've used it a number of times and I've kind of got the hang of it, but not properly. But I'll show you it, and you can, in the comments, you can type if it's good or not. But anyway, let's get started. First, I picked Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. The reason for that is Shadow's a dark deck. You'll be getting a lot of shadows to the graveyard, their effect activates, and if you manage to get a shadow to the graveyard, it'll be easier to get a light monster, because you've got like effect Veiler and Lyla, what will be easy to get to the graveyard, but I'll explain more about that later. Next we've got Chaos Sorcerer, same reason as Blackluster Soldier. It's a powerful card as well, and its effect is also really good. Like Blackluster Soldier, you can banish one face-up monster on the field, but unfortunately you can't attack. But then if you could attack, that'd be pretty overpowered, if you ask me. Next we've got two effect Veilers. The reason for that, you'll be going against a lot of effect monsters, and also it's easy to get to the graveyard, because if they use an effect, you can effect Veiler. That'll be easier to summon Chaos Sorcerer and Blackluster Soldier. So it's a pretty good card. I run two of them because of course I've got two cards that require a light and dark monster to be banished. So yeah, that's really it. Next we've got Kuribandit. Kuribandit's a really good card because when it's normal summoned, you contribute it at the end of the card at the end phase and excavate the top 5 cards of your deck and add one spell trap card to your hand if it's gone to the graveyard. That is good for getting both light and dark monsters to the graveyard, like so you can easy whatever it's called. So you can summon Chaos Sorcerer or Blackluster more easier, I guess. And I run two of them, especially as if you get like Shadow Fusion or whatever it's called, this card to the graveyard, yeah, Shadow Fusion, you can add it to your hand, or Super Polymerization is another good card to use. You can use it on Shadow Fusion cards, that's pretty good. And then next, well, that's really all about it, but then we've got next Lyla. Lyla's a pretty good card because of its effect. You can target one spell trap card your opponent controls. The card's battle positioning cannot be changed until the end phase. End of your next turn, should I say. Also, change this card you control from face-up attack position to face-up defense position, and if you do, destroy that card during it. But you can read it. But it's a really good card because they'll probably destroy it as it's in defense. It's only got 200 defense, and when it goes to the graveyard, you can also excavate or send the top 3 cards, should I say, from to your graveyard. That's also good for getting light and dark monsters. But if you get Blackluster Soldier or Chaos Sorcerer, that's not very good. But it doesn't matter because it's a really good card for getting them back row out, and also sending cards from your from your deck to your graveyard. Then we've got Mathematician. This is probably one of the best cards you can have in this deck, because when it's normal summoned, you can send one level 4 lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. And if all shadows have an effect, when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, well, it can do stuff like, let's say, Shadow Falcon. If it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon it in face down defense position, and then if it's attacked, you can flip it, and it's really good because if they attack it, you flip it. If they don't attack it and use like Raigeki, you can special summon it again. It's tuner monster, what's even better, so you can get your tuner monsters out. And next we got Shadow Beast. Shadow Beast is a level 5 shadow monster, and it's got a really good effect because you can draw 2 cards when it's flipped. You can draw 2 cards, then you discard one, and of course shadolls have an effect, like I said before. If it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can do blah blah blah. And if you can set that one, flip it, draw 2 cards, and if you have falcon, you can special summon that. And then next turn, if they're both still alive, you can flip both of them and synchro summon a level 7. Next we got Shadow Dragon. It's a really good card because when it's attacked, you can flip it and target one monster or one card they control and return it to their hand. What's really good, because if they've got like one monster and one spell or trap, you can get their monster back to the hand or their spell and trap. But it's really good if you have MST, so you can put their monster back to the hand. They can't summon again unless they're using like Burning Abyss, but they wouldn't really have a back row if they were using Burning Abyss. But puts back to your hand, put back to their hand, should I say? That, and then that's destroyed. But then they won't have a monster unless they have more than one, of course. And then you can MST the back row, and then attack directly with a monster you summon. And it's really good if you have Blackluster Soldier in your hand. If you've got that light monster, then you can do 3000 damage, and you can also summon Chaos Sorcerer if you've got 2 light and dark monsters. What's really useful. And then we've got, of course, Shadow Falcon, because when it's flipped you can target one monster in your graveyard, special summon it face down defense position, what's really good. And you can get loads of combos off of that, like you can summon Shadow Beast, and then next turn you can flip it, and then draw 2 cards, discard one, you can get a Falcon again, you can synchro summon, you can do loads of things with it. Then we've got Shadow Hedgehog, that's a really good card, because you can add 1 shadow spell or trap from your deck to your hand, like Shadow Fusion, and then you can fuse it to summon either el-shaddol and nephilim, I guess it's called, and el-shaddol midrash. And if you have 2 of them, I wonder if you... Oh no, you can only use it once per turn, but still, you can summon one of them. And you can also synchro summon with them, I guess. And yeah, then we've got Shadow Lizard. Target one monster in the field, destroy it. When it's flipped, what's a good effect? You can destroy one of their monsters. So if it's attacked, flip it, destroy that other monster that hasn't attacked, and then they can't attack with that, and it's, unless they have like an effect failure. But if they don't, it's a really good card to get their monsters off the field. Then we've got Allure of Darkness, of course, because that's a really good card. Draw 2 cards, banish 1 dark monster. I'm thinking though of adding Return from a Different Dimension, or Burial from a Different Dimension with that, so I can get them back. Mostly Return from a Different Dimension though, because if I've got Chaos Sorcerer in the graveyard, I can banish that and a light monster to summon Blackluster Soldier, and use Return from a Different Dimension to special summon Chaos Sorcerer and that light monster. And if I summon Lyla, I can use its effect to destroy their back row. And we've got, well, that's really it. Now we've got 2 mystical space typhoons, obviously, to destroy their back row. That's really it. Then 2 pot of dualities. If you don't get a good hand and you've got a pot of duality, you can use that and get a good card. The back draw of it, you can't special summon during the turn you have activated it, and that can be quite bad. But you can still summon like Mathematician and get a card to the graveyard and get your stuff out for next turn. And we've got 3 Shadow Fusions, of course, because then you can summon these 2. Yeah, that's pretty good. We've got Soul Charge. Now, Soul Charge is an amazing card, because you can special summon any amount of monsters from your graveyard. You have to pay 1,000 life points for each monster, and you can't even conduct battle phase. But luckily you can still synchro summon, XYZ summon, and whatever. Like that's really it. But besides that, it's really good. It's a really good card. Then we've got super polymerization. I think this is one of an OP card that should kind of be banned, because you can discard one card, send from either side of the field to the graveyard fusion material monster that are listed on a fusion monster card, and special summon that monster from your extra deck. Spells, trap, and card effects cannot be activated in response to this card's activation. So no, like, solemn warning, spelljammer, or is it magic jam? I can't remember. That is a really good card, even though it's pretty OP. I think you can use it to summon these. Yeah, you can. Because only if they have like a dark monster or a light monster on their field. But most people do use them. Then we've got 3 upstart goblins. Obviously, if you haven't got a good hand, you can use an upstart goblin to get a card, even though they gain 1,000 life points. We have 3 of them because as I have in all my decks that have upstart goblin, I have bad reaction to simochi, of course, and that if I use that in 3 upstarts, I lose 3,000 life points and I get to draw 3 cards. Nothing wrong with that. Then we've got 3 squirm and falling shadows. Send 1 shadow from your deck to the graveyard. You can change any number of face down position shadow monsters you control to face up defensive position. This is a really good card because you can summon, if you have a shadow beast in defense mode, you can send shadow falcon, then flip shadow beast. You can draw 2 cards, discard 1, shadow falcon automatically summoned, and then you can synchro summon for a level 7. And then we've got solemn warning, obviously, because if you synchro summon and they use torrential tribute or stuff like that, you can counter with solemn warning, even though you lose 2,000 life points. I would have preferred solemn judgment, but they banned that for unknown reasons. It's half your life points if you got like 20 life points left. Then you've got vanity's emptiness. This is a really good card because if you've got monsters in your field and they've got no cards whatsoever, if they have either gauze or battle fader in their hand, you can use vanity's emptiness to stop them from using it, using their effect to summon it, or special summon it, and you can attack directly and they can't do anything. Also, if you're in a tight situation and they're using dragon rulers or something, they can't do anything they can't summon them. It's a really good card. And it's destroyed when a card is sent from the deck or the field to your graveyard. It's really good because if you've got it out, they can't special summon. You can tribute summon them, and then then you can get rid of that card, and then you can special summon them. But yeah, it's a really good card. Then you've got bad reaction to simochi.